Do you ever get tired of the hustle and bustle that December brings? Shopping, cooking, baking, shopping, parties, get togethers. Oh, did I mention all of the shopping? By the time Christmas actually gets here, I am absolutely exhausted. So, let me tell you some ways to save you some extra time and all that baking and cooking that you have to do. For our family, we sometimes like to have a brunch on Christmas instead of like a traditional breakfast. So today I'm going to have 4 delicious Christmas brunch ideas that will leave your mouth watering. And the best part of all these meals is that they are all budget friendly. So for all of that inflation that is hitting our bank account right now, I'm going to find some easy and budget friendly ways to save you guys some money. So sit back, relax, grab your delicious coffee, and I'm going to show you some mouth-watering recipes and something for y'all to enjoy. Also, make sure that you stay to the end because I have something different that I've never shown on my show before. So please, you definitely don't want to miss it. It's going to be awesome. This video is part of a collab that I am doing with Leanne's Life, and I'll be telling you more about her and her channel later, but I will be linking all of her information down below in the description box. Okay, to start us off, I'm going to be making this spinach and sausage quiche. I'm kind of making this my own way, so I'm going to be needing that sausage. I'm going to need one of these pie crust out of here. I'm going to need some honey mustard or Dijon mustard, whatever you have, some half and half, some milk, some cheese, and then I'm just going to use a little bit of this spinach here. You can use whatever type of cheese that you have. I just have this cheese, but you can definitely use like a white cheese would be probably preferable. Okay, and then just a little bit of spinach. So let's get started. To start us off, we're going to be cooking up all of this sausage. I'm not going to use all of it for this meal. I'm going to end up using about half of it. I'm just going to go ahead and ground it up because I'm going to use the other half for another meal. So I'm just going to ground it up, make sure it's nice and cooked through, drain off any excess grease. I don't want all of that grease in this dish. And then I am going to use one of these pie crusts. I'm going to kind of flatten it out just a little bit. It's pretty thick when it comes out. So I'm just going to use a rolling pin and I'm just going to flatten this out and make it not so thick. These come out so thick, I don't know why, but I like to kind of flatten it out. That way it will come up to the very rim of my pie plate here. And I'm not very decorative at all, so I cannot make my pie crust look super pretty. I'm just not a decorator at all. So I just make the food. I don't make it look pretty. So sorry, if you're looking for something pretty, you need to go to a different channel because that is not this channel. But I'm just going to kind of lay this out and just kind of smooth it over. Just get it to basically to the rim there. And then I'm going to get started on my eggs. So I'm going to need about 6 eggs, and I'm just going to crack 6 eggs into a medium-sized bowl here. And then I'm going to add in about 1/4 cup of half and half, or you can use heavy whipping cream. I'm going to put in some salt and pepper. I'm going to put in 1 teaspoon of my honey mustard, or you can use Dijon mustard, which would be preferable. And then I'm going to put in 2/3 cup of milk as well. Season it with some salt and pepper. Give it a really good stir. It also called for just a pinch of nutmeg, which I thought was very interesting. I don't think I've ever put nutmeg in my eggs. So if you guys have any idea why nutmeg would be called for this recipe, please let me know in the comments below. I am kind of interested. I've just never used that type of seasoning for my eggs. I usually use paprika, but you can definitely use whatever type of seasonings that you like for your eggs. And then I'm just going to go ahead and pour it in this pie crust at the very bottom here. And then I'm going to get my add-ins all ready here. I'm going to get some spinach. I probably only use maybe 1/2 cup of spinach. You can definitely use a whole lot because it does shrink down when it gets hot and when it heats through. So I just used just a little bit. I knew that my kids were going to be all crazy about the spinach and they weren't going to want to eat it. Which one of my kids didn't really want to eat it because they saw something green in their meal, so they freaked out. I don't know how to get my kids to eat spinach. I really don't, or anything green for that matter. My boys just do not like anything green. It's ridiculous. I'm like, it doesn't have any taste. Just eat it. I don't know. If you guys struggle with your kids eating greens, please let me know. I cannot be the only person in the world here. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my spinach. And then that sausage that we had cooked up, I'm just going to go ahead and add that in as well. So I'm only going to add in about half of this. And then I just had some crumbled up bacon, just the stuff that you buy in the store. I had it on hand, so I just went ahead and added that as well, just to give it a little bit more flavor to it. I really didn't want to cook up bacon. To me, cooking up bacon is kind of like a chore, so I don't always want to do it. So sometimes I just buy this crumbled up bacon. I know it's not the same quality. I know that it tastes different, but sometimes I'm just lazy. I don't know. So I'm just going to add this to it, and then I'm just going to top this with some cheese, and that is it. That is all that I need for this quiche. I've actually never made a quiche before, but it was so simple, and you can actually make this without the pie crust. It would taste delicious without it. I knew that my husband probably wanted it with the crust, so I just made it with the crust. But I'm just going to go ahead and put this in the oven at 350. I baked this for about 35 minutes, and that is it. Please don't look at my stove. It is just absolutely a mess. Oh my goodness, so messy. And then this is what it's gonna look like when it's all done. This was so good. This was a super easy meal. We made this on a Sunday. This was so easy to make. It, while we're all getting ready, it was just cooking, and then when we're all done, we were able to eat and leave for church. We had some fruit with it. It was delicious. Everyone liked it, and definitely something I'll be making again. Is it yummy?
Yes.
What do you think? Yummy? Let's see what my critic says. Not good, huh? Because of the spinach, huh? Anything healthy is going to tell me no. What's good in it? The bacon, the sausage. Anything? Is your orange juice good? Okay.
It's good.
Thank you, baby. She's eating apples. Is it yummy? Do you like it? Mm-hmm. Say so yummy.
Yummy.
Okay, I just wanted to take a second and talk to you guys about my friend at Land's Life. She does all the different things that I do, budget-friendly stuff, crock-pot meals, just anything to help save you money and time. They are all super delicious meals, so when you have a second, go ahead and check her out. I will leave everything linked in the description box for you. Okay, this is what we need for this meal. We're going to need some brown sugar, some Worcestershire, some honey mustard, thing of pizza sauce. Usually I get the off-brand, but they didn't have any. Bummer. I have Swiss cheese, and then this is a pound of ham, but I'm only going to use about 3/4 of that. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to get my pizza crust, not sauce, but my crust. Oh, and then I'm going to go ahead and just kind of roll this out. This is also super thick. So I'm going to just kind of roll it out to the best I can. It's not exactly a rectangle, but hey, it works. So I'm going to go ahead and just get that as thin as you want. And then I'm just going to layer out my ham. You can use the whole pound if you want. I'm just going to use about 3/4 of this, just kind of lay it out nice and even like. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some cheese on top of that. Now you can definitely add any type of cheese that you want. I have Swiss cheese. I think Swiss just goes nicely with some ham. You can use cheddar or provolone. I guess those would be the kind of common ones that you would want to use. But I'm just going to put some Swiss cheese, and I'm just going to lay it on top of the ham. And then I'm just going to roll it up on the side here to the best that I can without making a terrible mess or breaking or just tearing anything. So I definitely think there's like a little art to it, but you just kind of try to roll that up the best you can, and then you're just going to cut it in about 1 inch or 1.5 inch little pinwheels there. And I'm just going to put this on my tray. I do not have a super big baking sheet. I only have this smaller one, so they don't actually all fit on here, but if you have a larger one, definitely use a larger one if you have it, because you're definitely going to need it for this meal. Now for this next step, you can do this on a stovetop and melt your butter on the stovetop and add in all the other stuff with it. I'm just gonna go ahead and melt this in the microwave. So I'm just gonna take a stick of butter and I'm just gonna melt it in the microwave. And then I'm gonna come back and then I'm gonna add in all of my stuff. So I have about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar that I'm gonna put in here. And then I'm also going to take my tablespoon and I'm just going to put in 1 tablespoon of that Worcestershire. I never know what to call it. Like, I don't know what the exact like pronunciation of it is, so I just call it whatever I want to call it, and that works for me. And then I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon of honey Dijon mustard, or just honey mustard. Anything like that will probably be fine. I'm just going to give it a really good stir. You just want it to thicken up just a little bit, and then you're just going to pour it on top of all of your little pinwheels here, and that is it. This meal is super simple. We had this for lunch on a Saturday afternoon. Saturdays are kind of just leftovers or something simple. And then you can put some poppy seeds on top of this. I just didn't have any poppy seeds, so I'm just make do with what I have. I'm gonna bake this in the oven for, I believe it's about 20 minutes. Just want it nice and golden brown on top. And then once it is, then it is perfect. It is good to go. And you have a lunch on the table. And we had this with some chips and queso or chips and dip. You could put this with some mac and cheese and french fries, something, I don't know, just something like that. It's just a simple, quick, and easy meal that you can have on your table in less than 30 minutes. How is it, Jojo?
Good. Is it the cookies? It's the best one.
Okay, next we're going to be making some breakfast enchiladas. These are going to be perfect for Christmas Day. You can make as little or as much as you want. These are super good and they are pretty fast to make actually. So we're going to need some cheese, some eggs, flour, milk, flour tortillas, and some butter. So let me show you exactly how we're going to do all that. We are going to take, I have about 12 eggs here. I'm just going to crack them into this little pitcher here. And then I'm going to give it a really good stir. We're going to add in some seasonings. And then we're just basically going to make some scrambled eggs. It's pretty simple. I like to put in some paprika, some salt and pepper. Sometimes I even like to put in half and half or heavy whipping cream with my eggs just to make it go a little bit further, or some people like to put in milk. Into a medium saucepan, I'm going to put in about 1/3 cup of butter, and I'm just going to melt that down until everything is nice and bubbly. And then I'm going to put in 1/3 cup of flour once that's all melted through, and you're just going to give that a really good stir until it's nice and thick. Once it's nice and thick, we're going to add in 3 cups of milk, and we're just going to kind of slowly stir that in, give it another really good stir, and it's going to take another 5 minutes for it to thicken up. And then once that is completely thickened up, we're going to go ahead and add in our cheese. So you can definitely add in whichever type of cheese that you want. I have this Colby Jack mixture that I'm just going to use. And so I'm just putting in 2 cups of shredded cheese and giving that another good stir, and it's not going to take long for that to thicken up. It takes like less than a minute for it to thicken up. And then I just wanted to season it a little bit, and you can I definitely think it needed more seasonings than what I put in it. So if you want to put in some salt, pepper, I put in just paprika, but it definitely needed some type of salt base. So just to give it a little bit more saltiness, a little bit more flavor. And then that is it. And then I am going to go ahead and get started on my scrambled eggs. Definitely wanted that to be one of the last things that I do. And so I'm just taking my butter, and I like my eggs to be extra buttery. So I'm taking my pan, and I'm just going to scramble these eggs up to the best that I can. I absolutely hate dry eggs, so I am not going to overcook these eggs at all. These are going to be nice and moist. And then I had that half a pound of sausage left over from one of the earlier breakfasts that I showed you in this video, and then I had a little bit of some sausage that was just left in my fridge, so I'm just going to add that to my egg mixture. Now if you don't have anything left over, then you can definitely just ground up a pound of sausage. And then that is it. You can put some cheese in this mixture as well. I didn't, just because we're going to put a whole bunch of cheese on top. But I'm just going to take this over to my countertop over here, and to my 9x13 pan. I'm just going to lightly grease it. I'm going to take my 10 tortillas, and I'm just going to put that egg mixture in my pan without making a huge terrible mess, and I'm just going to lay these out on my 9x13, and then that is it. I'm just going to pour my cheese sauce on top of that, and that's it. Like, I'm just going to put it in the oven. I put it in the oven at 350 for about 30 minutes. I think between 20 and 30 minutes, and it was very, very delicious. You guys are really going to like this meal. And of course, we absolutely love cheese in this house, so I'm going to put some extra cheese on top of that. I'd probably put in about another cup of cheese, just to give it that extra cheesiness that we absolutely desire and love. So this is what it looks like before I put it in the oven. It is looking super delicious. And then this is what it looks like after it's done. It is super toasty on the edges there. It's crispy on the edges. The filling is nice and cheesy. Everything about it is absolutely delicious. You could top this with some salsa or some sour cream, some tomatoes, some cilantro, whatever your little heart desires. But for my kids, I just gave it to them like this, and my daughter was asking for seconds. She loved it. I'm not sure why I've never made breakfast enchiladas before, but it's going to have to start going on the menu from now on. It's super good. Okay, so this meal I had made, and I had recorded everything, but the biggest clip out of it would not transfer to my computer, so I was not able to put it in here. I'm going to try to describe it to you the best that I can, because it was so good. I want you guys to be able to make it, because it was so delicious. I didn't want to just omit it completely. So I'm going to show you the parts that was able to transfer over. So I'm making this candy cane crescent roll pastry. So I'm needing both of these crescent rolls. I need 2 crescent rolls. I need some cream cheese, some sugar, powdered sugar, and some cherries. It's very simple ingredients. So you're just going to take the 2 crescent rolls, and you're just going to lay it out and have the wider triangles facing to the left, and having the narrow ones facing to the right. And you're just going to put in your cream cheese and sugar mixture all over the crescent rolls, and you're just going to fold it over. And you're just going to try to make it into a triangle shape. And then you can put in those cherries on top of that cream cheese mixture. And then you're just going to bake this in the oven at 350 degrees. And it doesn't take very long for it to cook, maybe about 15 minutes. You just want everything to be nice and lightly golden brown on top. And then I am taking my powdered sugar and I'm just putting in a couple tablespoons of milk, and I'm just going to put this this frosting is basically what it is, and you're just going to drizzle it all on top of the candy cane mixture here, and that's it. It is very, very good. This would be a perfect Christmas brunch idea, and if you don't want to make a whole bunch, because this made 2 candy canes just like this. I don't have like a big tray, or else I would use a big tray and make a really big candy cane. But I only had one. I only have a small one, so I ended up making 2 of these. And it was really, really good, but I think next time I'd probably just make 1. So definitely just wanted to let you know that it does make quite a bit if you're using both crescent rolls. So you can definitely half this recipe, and it would be superb either way. So I will leave everything linked in the description box on this recipe, because it just didn't transfer over, and I'm sorry. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found some new recipes for you and your family, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and check out my friend Leanne at Leanne's Life, and I will leave everything linked in the description box, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.